Man says women are ruined forever.
3 reasons why women are ruined forever.
Here we go.
Let's hear what he has to say.
Digital apps are the gateway to prostitution. Many are now proud of having sugar daddies. And this is women from actually well-to-do households as well, where even education is there. Second, no grace or softness, put zero efforts with an expectation that everything should be done for them.
He said, digital apps are not gateway for prostitution. Many are not proud of having sugar daddies. These women are from well-to-do households as well as where even education is there. So this man is blaming women for the dating apps, calling women prostitutes. I'm not saying people are not doing hookups on dating apps, and I'm not supporting women that are using dating apps for hookups and prostitution. This is where I'm upset with the man. Why did he choose to blame women that are using dating apps for prostitution? Why is he shifting blame? With my argument, I'm focusing on the obvious blame shifting. Majority of the men think this way. They view women as the caretakers of the universe, the entire world, but they hesitate in allowing women to assume top leadership positions. They view women as the glue that put things together, the neck that holds the head, the janitor. Without women, things will fall apart, but they struggle to publicly acknowledge that. His argument is obviously one-sided. Demand influences supply and determines the market. Thirsty and sex-driven men are the root cause of the problem here, followed by the digital app owners, then the women. The dating app owners discovered a booming market with the sex-thirsty men and made a business out of it. A lot of women on dating apps are in the dark. They have no idea that the dating apps advertise them to men as potential prostitutes or hookup partners. Most men on dating apps are there for sex, and women are the product they seek. Why would he leave men and blame women?
3 reasons why women are ruined forever.
Were you aware that you were ruined forever already?
I've been feeling it, and I haven't known why. So I'm glad that this man is telling me.
That's what I've learned from the internet, is that women wouldn't know what's wrong with them if it were not for men with podcasts. And it's one of the reasons I started my... No.
Thank you for your service, Jisco.
Digital apps are the gateway to prostitution.
Oh, I have not been paid yet, so I'm a little
frustrating
upset to hear that.
Right?
Yeah, I've been just doing this for free.
Many are now proud of having sugar daddies. And this is women from actually well-to-do households as well, where even education is there.
What do you think he means by sugar daddy? Also, because I feel like there's an actual definition of it, and there's what these guys think sugar daddy means.
So, yeah, I think that he thinks that a sugar daddy is a guy that just, bankrolls everything for a woman. I think that must be what they think that it is.
But I feel like he would consider himself to be a sugar daddy simply for paying for a date. She only wants me for my money because I bought her, TGI Fridays.
Okay.
Do you think digital apps are the gateway to prostitution, or do you think it's just all the men who are willing to pay for sex? Because let's be honest, doesn't matter if someone has access to something if there's no demand for it in the first place. Don't you think it's a little weird how you'll flash money instead of a personality in order to attract women, and then get mad when you've attracted women who want your money instead of your personality? I don't understand, because you keep telling us that men are meant to be the sole provider and then get insulted when women expect you to provide. And trust me, there are plenty of women who are making their own money, but you kept calling them masculine when they dared to step outside the kitchen in order to pursue employment, so they don't want to date you. Do you want to soft like a teddy bear or soft like no backbone? Because something tells me you're not just trying to snuggle. And a woman expecting a man to participate in the house he lives in does not mean that she's expecting him to wait on her hand and foot. She's asking him to put his own dirty underwear in the hamper, not feed her potato chips while he rubs her feet and serenades her with love songs. So let's not get carried away.
Why do most grown-up men act like children, expecting women to cater for their basic survival needs? Why do they act handicapped in that regard? The first guy said no grace or softness, put zero effort, with an expectation that everything should be done for them, making reference to women. I strongly believe he made that statement because modern women are no longer giving in to the trad wife gameplay. Many men out there are looking for their moms in other women.
You women nowadays are always telling men that we don't want girlfriends. We want moms when we ask you to do basic women-like things for us. No, we want you to act like women in our mom's generation. You know, the women that raised us, the women that took care of their husbands, cooked for their husbands, loved their family, didn't want to go to work and abandon their kids, didn't want to party at the clubs all weekend and act like they hate men all the time. So no, we don't want moms. We want you to act like wives. And unfortunately for us men, it seems like the last time that happened was in our mom's generation.
You to act like women in our mom's generation. You literally just told us that you want a mommy while you're actively trying to convince us that you don't.
That's not what he was saying. His delivery probably wasn't the best, but we all know that's not what he was saying. Wanting a girlfriend who behaves like the traditional women in your mom's generation and does women-like things doesn't mean you want another mommy. In the same sense that wanting a boyfriend who behaves like a traditional man and does manly things doesn't mean you want another dad. The qualities that make a good parent are the same ones that make a good partner. So when men are asking for these women that have mother-like qualities, they're still asking for a good partner. Just like when a woman says she wants a man who's gonna protect her and provide for her and support her financially. That's usually what a dad does for his kids. But a good husband also does that for his wife because that's his role in the family and he loves his children and his wife. So when a man says he wants a woman that's gonna cook for him and be nurturing, he's not asking for another mother, he's asking for the person that his mom was to his dad. Now, some of y'all seeing this might claim to have a problem with relationships where the two people have gender-specific roles because there's bad things that come with that. But the happiest relationships you see today are ones where the two people embrace certain gender-specific roles. Loving your partner and fulfilling your role in the relationship doesn't make you their parent, it just makes you a good partner.
If he argued that the podcaster didn't want his mom, what then is his reference for his statement? His mother and his father's relationship was a typical example of what he used in his statement, and he wants his wife to be the way his mom is to his father. That's basically him. That's him asking the wife or the woman, the girl, to be his mom to him. To me, he obviously just wants to replicate the relationship his mom and his father has. He wants the wife or the girl in his life to mirror that. I feel like the guy is confused with his point. He said manly things, traditional things, the quality that make a good parent are the same one that make a good partner. Asking for mother-like qualities is just asking for a good partner. That's if someone is asking for mother-like qualities, what does that mean? I want you to have those qualities that my mom has, so I want you to be my mom. That's basically what he's saying. So I don't get the head and tail of his argument, because he's obviously contradicting himself.
Going off the last video, ask a girl, can I get your number? She said, no, I just got out of a relationship and I don't know if I'm ready to date or whatever. And I handed her my phone and said, go ahead, type it in. It'll be fine. We can get Chardonnay. We can talk like girlfriends and talk about your old relationship with this guy. We're not going to do that, but it's going to be okay. Another example. Once again, not forcing it, not being super aggressive. She can say no again, which at that point I would have disengaged. But guess what she didn't do? Didn't say no. And that was the first time it happened. And then I did it again and again and again and again and again. And most of them ended up coming over my house and ended up sleeping with me. You just gotta know how to do it correctly.
One of the most important concepts for guys to really wrap their head around is that what women say they want and what women actually respond to tend to be two totally different things. The women will run around saying they want a nice, sensitive guy who's in touch with their feelings, and then they'll go and suck a Giga Chad who's about as toxically masculine as you could possibly get.
Is that supposed to be a story to share? Is that supposed to be something you come online to talk about? And he's using that as an example to coach people he has on his coaching course. People don't have shame anymore, honestly. People don't have shame anymore. Someone told you that they got off relationship. You claim to be a relationship coach and you know how relationship goes, especially if emotions were invested. All you could do was deceive the person and take the person's number, and at the end of the day, you slept with the person. And you had the mind, the effrontery to come online to tell people like, were you expecting people to clap for you? Oh, saying no does not really mean no. Or saying don't take rejection. You have to keep pushing even when a woman says no. Hell no. This is a wrong teaching. We have a lot of alpha male, alpha red pill, whatever they call themselves, giving wrong teachings out there. This lady is already vulnerable. You're taking advantage of a lady that is vulnerable because she is emotionally down. She's trying to heal. You saw that as an opportunity. As a parasite you are, you seized the opportunity. You didn't keep whatever you did in secret. You came online to teach other people to do the same. It makes no sense to me.
A man spending non-sexual time with a woman is purely a reward for the woman. You're not spending time together, you're spending his time. Most women don't realize, but being around a woman is actually work for a lot of men. It's an energy draining activity.
Yeah, of course it feels like work because you're not trying to connect or be yourself. You're just trying to be whoever you think she wants you to be in order to get into her pants. And that wouldn't be work if you weren't a shitty person because you'd be able to be yourself instead of trying to keep up with the charade. But that obviously means that you know you're no prize because you have to know that the women you want don't want you if you have to pretend to be someone different in order to be around them. And that makes me wonder how you can even take yourself seriously when you're spouting off about this nonsense. Because if being in your presence is such a gift, then why do you have to put any effort into being around women at all? The fact that you think non-sexual time spent with a woman is a waste means that you don't actually like us and just want to use us for our anatomy. And you spend time trying to prove that you're worthy of gaining access to it despite knowing that you're not, which is the only reason that you find the interaction to be exhausting. But if you want something from us, then why would we have to entertain you in order to keep you in our presence? Because the clock still has the same amount of time regardless of whether you're a man or woman, but the only person wasting it is the person who's pretending to be someone who's worth spending that time with. So although I'm sure you meant to appeal to the men who hate women, you just ended up proving why you all actually do. You're mad that you have to tolerate who we are in order to get what we have. But that wouldn't feel so unfair if you saw us as equal human beings instead of subpar objects that were designed specifically for your use. You don't like that you have to try in order to gain access to someone who you feel is biologically beneath you. But it's not a woman's fault if you don't meet their standards without faking it. And if you chose to see time spent with women as something to enjoy, rather than something you have to endure in order to get to what you enjoy, then maybe you wouldn't be so angry. But you see us as a gatekeeper for something you feel you should already be entitled to. And that makes us feel like your enemy instead of your equal. So this isn't about us, this is about you. You obviously have to work hard to be around women if being around women feels like work. And that says a lot about who you aren't. Because if you were the epitome of a man, then you wouldn't have to drain yourself in order to be in the presence of a woman.